All right, AFC South. 8 wins or more, over and under. All right. Houston Texans. I think that the Houston Texans will continue to be a dominant team in the division. I think that they get 8 wins or more. Either at 8 wins or more. Hopefully they get Tank Dell back, who had his crazy injury. CJ Stroud is still a top tier quarterback. They have Joe Mixon, who's a phenomenal running back. Nico Collins, very reliable at catching that football. Their defense, Will Anderson, a young defender right there. And they have that guy, Al Shaher, had some really ugly looking hits that he had on players this past season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm going to say the Texans, the biggest concern is their O-line. They just let go of Larry Tunsil. They let go of quite a few guys on their offensive line that last year, if Stroud had some time, there was no telling what that team could have done. And now you let go of your best guy. That's a big question mark. They're going to be able to produce like they did last year. And then their defense is solid. They actually picked up some guys that helps their defense. Overall, like you were saying, their division is still improving, but they're going to be ahead until finally one of these teams finally submit themselves as a formidable foe.
Yeah, it's just a weak division.
Yeah, right now, I would say 8.5 is the projection for me. So right at 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 wins. But definitely, I would say 8.5 wins right now based on what their roster currently looks like.
They can potentially just sweep their whole division and get 6 wins just from their division, you know?
Yeah.
Potentially. All right, moving on. Indianapolis Colts. In my honest opinion, they have really decent running back in Jonathan Taylor, wide receiver Michael Pittman, Josh Downs. Those are great players right there. But the biggest question mark, who the heck is going to be their quarterback? Is it going to be Anthony Richardson, who is supposed to be this great quarterback but really hasn't shown much just yet? Or are they going to throw in Daniel Jones, who is their backup quarterback, potentially starting quarterback? So the big question for the Colts is their offense, I think, because of the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Defensively, they were really good this past season. I mean, I am not familiar with these names, but I just know that they were tough defense.
They were it was a definite defensive stronghold in the Colts. They try to keep them in the games, but the problem was the QB efficiency from Richardson and just the offense itself at times did not look like they were clicking at all. Now you have Richardson or Daniel Jones, and that's going to be a very unique situation because Daniel Jones is not a mobile QB. He's not somebody that's going to move out of the pocket. He wants to step and throw it into windows. Richardson, he's one that will tuck and try to run for it. And right now, the biggest issue with him is he's consistently getting hurt. That shoulder injury that he had from his rookie year, Cam Newton had it, and it messed Cam Newton's career. So That's the big question is maybe it's time the Colts made some phone calls to see if they can get somebody that can be a consistent guy that's going to propel their team even further because they were a QB away from being a playoff contender.
Yeah. Anthony Richardson, 12 interceptions and 8 touchdowns. That's not good, you know.
And I do believe it's 40 completion percentage.
He's got a QBR of 47.4, only 1,814 passing yards.
Yeah. And right now, I'm projecting about 5.5 wins. They could easily be in the top 5 in my projected draft order, they could be in the middle of the pack, but it's all depending on what happens with the efficiency at the QB position.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see Daniel Jones taking over this Colts team and taking it to the playoffs and beyond. Yes, his completion percentage is okay-ish. It's averaged at about 64% on the total of his career, 6 seasons. But yeah, Anthony Richardson, he's just an injury-prone. He's really big, but he hasn't really shown that he can take over a game.
Yeah.
So I think that the Colts go under 8 wins. I think about 6 or 7 wins for them at the moment. Unless they get some big-time different quarterback in that position that can actually do something for them.
Yeah, and then going from the Colts QB situation to the Jags, they get a new head coach that can't even say the right chant.
Duval.
Right Duval.
That was the weirdest thing I've ever saw.
Yeah, it was the most awkward situation ever. But Trevor Lawrence, it's a big question mark. Like, he needs to step up. The guy's shown that he can win games, but dude, you're getting compared. You're getting compared to Peyton Manning. You're getting compared to guys that were really successful in college, and you produced absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I mean, overall of his past 4 seasons, 69 touchdowns and 46 interceptions with a 63% completion rate. So is it a matter of not having players around him to win football games? I think they have a solid running game with Travis Etienne. Brian Thomas is their top receiver. These guys are not really big names, Maybe they need a receiver. Maybe that's where they're lacking. I know that Trevor Lawrence has the capability. He's got the size and capability to produce in this league. I mean, if they can't put players around him, then at some point he's going to leave and maybe transform a different team in this league.
It's also just keeping him upright, because he's not a guy that you're going to see move the pocket at all. He's mobile, but it's moved by design, basically, when he's mobile. To me, the way the schedule's going, it's going to be a new Jags team, but honestly, it's going to be 6 wins. I can see them going as low as a 5-win team or as high as a 7-win team. So 6 wins is probably going to be right where they're going to be at.
I think they're going to be at 5 wins. 5 wins is where I think they're going to be at. They will not reach 8 wins.
Yeah, he will not.
All right, Tennessee Titans. Who the heck is their quarterback? Is it really going to be Will Levis or this guy, Brandon Allen? Or maybe they go out and they draft a player, a QB, that can really take this team where it needs to be.
Yeah, there's been rumors that they've been talking about some late round quarterbacks coming in, but they're going to be the number 2 pick in the draft. To be honest with you, that team has a lot of issues, and I don't think Coach Callahan knows how to handle it. He's not a guy that's going to elevate the team. I think the Titans made a huge mistake in letting go of Vrabel, because he would be able to get them out of this situation. But to me, it's going to be 3.5 wins, to be honest. The lowest 2-15, the highest 5-12. It's going to be around 3.5 wins.
Yeah, I don't see any way they can get over 5 wins. They just have way too many issues. Their defense is not very tough. Their offense, the QB position, is where they're absolutely lacking too. unless Will Levis can really put on a switch and figure it out some way, somehow. I mean, they have Traylon Burks. He's supposed to be this good quarterback, and they have Calvin Ridley. But they're not going to dominate their own division. So 5 wins makes a whole lot of sense for this team.
Yeah. So I know you've got a little bit of difference, but to me, this division, it's Texans, Jags, Colts, Titans. And then the Jags and Colts, it's only by like 0.5% that the Jags are going to be a little bit better than the Colts.
Jags better than the Colts, oh wow.
And it's only because the strength of schedule between the Colts and the Jags, it's not even close. The Jags face the number 3s and the NFL, and the Colts face the number 2s. So it's just a matter of who they happen to be playing. And again, it's going to be a matter of when and what happens during the draft, because there's a lot of question marks in some areas that they could answer real quick come late April.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's one of the weakest divisions in the whole league, in my opinion.
Yeah, that is definitely the truth.
Because any other team, I think, in a different division can go in and just stomp a mud hole in all these teams.
Yeah. I don't see the Texans, because they face the Bills, they face the Chiefs, they face the Baltimore Ravens, and it's still going to be where they're not going to be able to get over the hump.
Yep, that's true. All right, so that's the AFC South.
Listen up. Subscribe to Go Pack Go all day. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.